guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for the support on the shorts that I've been uploading. If you missed them, just go under my new videos and you should see them. I post a lot on Instagram and TikTok, but I wanted to share some on here too in case you guys don't have those platforms. But you will never believe that I just filmed this entire video, went downstairs to edit it, and everything was completely out of focus. So this is my second time through. In case my eyes look puffy or I have some makeup on my face, it's because I quickly took everything off and then reapplied it. So here's to hoping that this video is in focus, right? But in today's video, we are gonna be talking through a lot of drugstore dupes slash alternatives. I saw someone comment on one of my last dupe videos that they prefer sometimes to use the word alternative if it's not exactly the same. And that's definitely the case with some of these. They perform similarly or they give a similar effect to the skin, but they're not identical. So some of these are alternatives, some of these are closer to actual dupes, but all of them are really exciting. So I hope you stick around and find out what they are. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, the first alternative we're gonna talk through is this Hollywood Flawless Filter. I got mine in the shade Fair because I have combo skin. So I'm not trying to put this all over my entire face. I really just want to put this on the parts of my face that I'd like to appear glowy and radiant. If I put this all over my face, it would be a little bit too much for the oily spots on my skin that don't need any extra shine. Like right here on the tops of my cheekbones, coming up to my forehead. It just gives a really nice soft glow. However, I've seen a lot of people talk about the Maybelline 4-in-1 as a dupe. Definitely think that's legit, but I also saw this on TikTok. These are the Versed Mood Lighting Glow Drops. These have peptides and blackberry extract. I like these because they're in dropper form and really thin in consistency. Feel almost cooling and really lightweight. The shade that I have is Golden and it looks very similar to the shade Fair in Charlotte Tilbury. It gives just a nice soft glow. I would say that the Verse is a little bit softer. It also feels more like a serum or like a skincare product than a makeup product, but it gives a very similar and just lived in glow effect to the face that would be really pretty to wear on its own or to mix in with a foundation. So not a complete dupe here, but a very good alternative. All right, next up is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I remember when this was a like staple product back in the day on YouTube. This is one of those products that everyone just had to have and was like very elite if you had it. I have mine in the shade Tawny and I love this foundation. It's really thin in consistency, stays put all day long, but also looks and feels really lightweight. You can build this up as much as you want, but even on the first layer, it gives really nice coverage. I would say for every day, one thin layer is all you need. And when I saw this dupe, I was kind of surprised because when I think of the Double Wear foundation, I think of almost for oily skin. And this one claims to be a hydrating foundation, but they are so similar. I would almost call this a dupe. This is the Catrice True Skin Foundation. This is also a long wear formula, I know from experience. And by the way, these are not shade matches. You can see the Double Wear is a lot darker than this one, but we'll fix it with bronzer. But I know from experience that both of these wear beautifully all day long. No trouble with that. And they both get a healthy amount of shine. Neither are super matte foundations. They're also not glowy. I would say the fact that the Catrice one is called hydrating is a little bit surprising because it's not super hydrating. It's really more of just a natural finish. But both just lay beautifully on the skin. A tiny bit of both goes a really long way. I can't remember whose TikTok I saw this on, but this is a legitimate find. Like the two sides of my face outside of the color look identical. And then going along the same lines, I saw this Benefit Bling concealer in Ulta and I just felt it and I was like, you know what, this reminds me of a concealer that I already have in my collection. Just the consistency of it is very thin, very natural and lightweight feeling. It just kind of really subtly brightens and adds some coverage, but I would say it's kind of like a medium max coverage concealer. And the consistency reminded me a ton, and the wand, of the Milani Conceal and Perfect. But once I got it home and compared them, I would say that the Milani actually provides a lot better coverage than the Benefit one. It's more of a medium to full coverage, whereas the Benefit one I'd say is like a light medium to medium coverage. So you can see the difference between my a little bit of blueness on this side and none on this side. So now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like the e.l.f. Brightening Concealer, the one that comes in the pen, might actually have more of a similar finish to the Benefit one. So if you're looking for more of that lightweight, more sheer formula, I think the e.l.f. Brightening Concealer might actually be a better option. But if you're looking for that thin, lightweight consistency and a little bit better coverage, Milani is a great alternative. All right, I'm gonna go a little crazy with the bronzer. This is just the e.l.f. Cream Bronzer palette because we are looking like two different colors here because I have some self-tan that's almost off, but enough to where my face is much lighter than my body still. All right, now that we're looking a little bit more like we match, I'm gonna go in with the next product. And it's the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush. This is the shade Coastline. I would say out of all of the products here, this is the one where I'm like, okay, this feels like a high-end product. You know how sometimes you buy a high-end product and you're like, especially with mascara, like, okay, 1000% I could have found something as good as this at the drugstore. Like, this is really not that impressive. That is not the case with this one. This is one of those high-end products that I completely understand the hype around, which is rare for me, because I always think there's a good drugstore option. And I still have a good alternative to this one, but I would say of all the products that I'm talking about, this is the most luxury high-end product of all the ones I'm gonna mention. I love how pigmented it is, that it blends so easily, that it looks like skin, and it has an SPF of 30. So just a really great product. But the color, the consistency remind me a lot of the Flower Beauty blush balm in the shade Cinnamon. The difference here is that, because I've tried this a few times, the difference here is that the Flower Beauty one is a little bit more on the sheer side, so that comes down to preference. If you would prefer a more sheer blush, because maybe you don't like blushes that look too overboard, Flower Beauty is actually the better way to go. Flower Beauty also has a little bit more of a sheen to it, so it's going to act as like a illuminator and a blush in one, whereas the Laura Mercier is more of a natural finish. But the shade, super similar, the effect is super similar. So if you want to save some money, I would say they look very similar, but SPF of 30, a little bit more pigmented, more sheer, more beginner friendly, and no SPF. All right, we're just like shooting through these because I've already made this video once. I'm gonna set everything with my Age Perfect powder foundation, just like the center of my face, and where I want to kind of get rid of that shine. All right, for eyeshadow, I'm going to use my Out in the Wild eyeshadow palette by Essence. And I'm just going to take this golden color right here all over my crease and all over my lid. Instead of using a transition color, I want to just keep it nice and light and glowy today and just go with the glitter. And then I'm going to take my Sephora brow pencil on both sides and just roughly fill them in before we move on to the next dupe. All right, next up is a classic. This is the Anastasia clear brow gel. I used to have this in my bridal kit because it just holds the brows in place all day. And whenever I had clients with like really great natural brows that just needed some shaping, this was a go-to product. It's always nice to have a clear brow gel on hand in case you want to go for like a natural brow day. So loved this until I found this one. This is the Milani Clear Brow Gel, and you guys, this is a legitimate dupe. Like, ever since I tried this one, which I tried because you guys recommended it, I haven't looked back. This feels so high-end, and it holds your brows for just as long as the Anastasia one. There is absolutely no need to spend more money than this right here. All right, next up is a mascara. Mascara is something, I've said this before, I will not pay high-end prices for mascaras. There are too many great mascaras at the drugstore and too many alternatives to try. So on the high-end side, we're going to be using this Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. This one creates a lot of volume quickly. It also lengthens quite a bit because it's got that like long, thin wand, which is great for lengthening. It's clump prone, but you guys know me, I'd rather have Clump City than too natural of looking lashes. So this is a good mascara, but everything down to the way that the applicator feels, the way that it bends, reminds me so much of a drugstore mascara that we all know. That makes my lashes look the exact same. Okay, so that's the Benefit side. This is pretty brand new, the Benefit one. This one, I'm gonna have to scrape the edges because it's old. I don't know if you guys can see that the writing is worn off. That's how old this is. But it's still gonna perform just as well applicator looks identical, and it's like flimsy. It kind of bends with your lashes the way that the Benefit one does. This again builds really quickly, is clump prone, and great for lengthening. All right, that's 2 coats of Benefit, 2 coats of Maybelline. You guys tell me if you see a big difference. All right, I'm just gonna use a small angled brush and this brown shade right here to define my lower lash line a little bit, and then just do a little shimmer pop in my inner corners. Before I do my bottom lashes, I'm going to go in with the next alternative, and the high-end product is this really popular Tarte Fake Awake. These can be a lot more flattering than black in the waterline because they really open your eyes and make your eyes look nice and bright. So this is really meant to be used in your lower waterline. I like to put it on before I put on my lower lash line mascara because it can kind of get on your lower lashes and get some white right there, but then you have to be careful when you put your mascara on so you don't get black on top of the white eyeliner. So kind of pick your poison there. It looks really nice. You see how it just makes my eyes look bigger and more awake? The alternative, which is an extremely affordable option, is the Essence Extreme Lasting Waterproof Silky Nude. I've tried these both side by side and they wear for the exact same amount of time. They are both super long lasting. And put this over on this side. I'd call this more of an alternative than a complete dupe because this one is a little bit brighter than the Tarte one. You can see the Tarte one has a little bit more pink in it. This one has a little bit more true nude, but it's a very similar effect for how different the price point is. All right, now I'm gonna very carefully go in with my lower lash line mascara and try not to get it on my waterline. All right, I feel like I need a touch more bronzer, so I'm just gonna go in with my Rimmel bronzer. All right, and that is it for the dupes, but let's finish off this look with a lip color. I think I'm gonna use the Maybelline Super Stay Vinyl Ink in the shade Cheeky. Just kind of like a mauve-y nude. Quite similar to my natural lip color. All right, and that is everything. I hope you guys found this video interesting / helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will definitely make more of these. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one.